Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United of the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. We don't have a sponsor, but this one is going to be sponsored by Prozac. We're all going to be very, very happy. Obviously, we're live at the moment on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. If you want to join in the conversation, I think YouTube is the best one because that actually pops on the screen, so I might remember to look at it. Joining me today, we've got Paul Darby returning after a little while. Hello, Paul. How are you?
I might get good, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it could be a little better, but you know.
Yeah, no worries. Good to see you again. How was your summer off?
Yeah, good. Yeah,
few weeks off.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of the 7 weeks of football we didn't have. Yeah, no, good. Thanks. Yeah, how was yours?
Excellent. It was good. Thank you very much. And joining us again is Claire. Hello, Claire. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. You've got I've set some targets with your counterpart at Doncaster Rovers doing a whole little video tour and everything. So
yeah, he's really raised the bar, and I was dreading AB seeing the video, to be honest, because I knew that he would message me and say, "Well, that's quite nice. Why don't we do one of those?" And I thought, "Oh, it's coming. I know it's coming." But thankfully, he just admired Dean's handiwork and didn't ask me to do one yet. But I know it's coming.
Yeah, your answer's got to be because it keeps changing. AB every 5 minutes, something different's happening. So it'll be
We'll
out.
do
It'll
one
be
at the
out
end of the year.
Yeah. That's good. So we are going to talk about our wonderful trip to Doncaster. How was the journey? I'm not delaying talking about the match at all.
I mean, was that the highlight? I don't know. We drove up, and it was quite a pleasant drive. I'm not going to lie. We left at 9, and we were there in plenty of time, so I can't complain.
Good.
Well, I took the train up, Mark. It was an opportunity for me and my boy, who's 15, James, and we thought we'd do a proper Northern football away day out. And you know, the day out and 90 minutes of football was great fun. It was, you know, we enjoyed ourselves. Train was quick, cheap. Donny had a nice selection of pubs. Wasn't the grim fest that it was painted as. Locals were friendly, and it was a mixed bar at the ground, so that was nice. Got chatting to a few of the locals, had some fun, and they had a penalty shootout thing in the outside. I took a penalty hard and wide and hit some Doncaster bloke in the knackers, so that was quite fun. But it was a good day, except those last 4 minutes, really, wasn't it?
Well, you said a proper away day. That's what it's for.
Exactly.
We did a little interaction where I did the predicted lineup. Now I went with Will because I figured if he's injured, we'll start him, and then if he has to come off, he has to come off. This was entirely based on Matt Gray's thing of Will should be fine for take some part, and then he didn't even put him on the bench.
I took his. It was from the interview. He sounded a bit sheepish to me. I wasn't convinced that he was going to play Randall if he wasn't 100%. But bit of a shame, wasn't it? Although I thought Josh Snurfer played well, didn't he? I thought he was a good standing. But the way Will started, and I mean, he's been on fire lately, hasn't he? So definitely a loss.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
But at the point of the lineup, it's the strongest team we could probably go with, and Josh is exciting player to watch. He's one. He will get you out of your seat. I've only seen glimpses of him, but how was he for you guys yesterday? Claire, do you want to go?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you can see me still because my computer's gone to absolute pot. Yeah, no, I'm up until the last 10 minutes, I really couldn't grumble yesterday. Personally, I felt like we really held our own. There was some exciting stuff there. It felt promising. It feels promising in the same way that last season at the beginning, if you look back, we kind of had the similar start. So yeah, it didn't end the way that perhaps I wanted it to, or any of us wanted it to, but it definitely feels okay. I think we just need to back up our ideas a little bit. You saw what was going to happen at the end. You knew it was going to happen. At one point, Dave said to me, "That's going right through the middle," and it did. So it was very much on the cards. But yeah, I'm not too disheartened by it.
Well, I was obviously listening, and the first half we were all over them. Several chances for a second goal. I think their goalkeeper was man of the match, and it was. Do you know what? We've got this. This is great. This is going to be a great result. Yeah, you want one of those chances to go away, but these things happen, and it just So that first half just seemed like it was coming. So, Paul, I know we just lost you for a second, but we're just saying the first half, it seemed to be everything was rosy. You're on mute again, Paul. Sorry. But yeah.
I'd agree with to be fair, I totally agree with you, Mike, that we could have been 2 or 3 up at halftime if we really played it right.
Yeah, I mean everyone cries out for this 20 goal, 30 goal season striker, but if they existed, we wouldn't be having them because.
But even if they existed, and I know that things have changed and people have changed and management have changed, even when we signed a striker that scores 20 a season, they come to us and they don't score 20 a season. Like it's just not how things work. And I can just think of so many people where it's like, it's this promised absolute goal god, and it never quite comes through, and then they leave us and they go somewhere else and it does work. So I don't really know whether we're really suited to somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to say strikers are key, but I think everybody are key. That's basically what we've come to.
Yeah, you're not going to say that when someone wants to unlock the box without Ali Smith scoring a goal. You're like, no. Go find yourself a striker.
Exactly.
Paul, were you back or? No, your microphone's still gone. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, looking through Twitter and everything, they were expecting great things, and their fans were a little bit, oh, God, this is awful. And yeah, I was like, that's it, we've come home with these points. Let's just end the game now. Stop the count, as the phrase was. But then we didn't put away the chances. And we had that just crazy couple of minutes. I mean, you said you felt it was coming. But even looking at the goals, the first one, I think Jack came out and punched. But watching the replay, being quite harsh, didn't their player look like he jumped into him? So it's like that could have actually been a free kick to us with the way goalkeepers are protected. It wasn't, so.
Them's the breaks, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we got Paul back?
I think so.
Hello.
That's right.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
I've gone back to the reliable phone rather than the 11-year-old. The performance. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it was. That. I mean, first 45 was absolutely dominant, doing everything right. That usual Sutton, being aggressive, a bit of intensity there. I mean, we did miss a few, obviously, but to be fair to some of them, I thought Bell strike, Ali Smith just couldn't quite have on the end of a cross, could he? And I think you were talking there about. I mean, what as there's a couple of games where the ball in the net, everyone's screaming for a 20-goal a season striker, aren't they? And we weren't particularly doing that when everyone scored 8 or 9 last year, were we? So it was, but we'll see. We'll see. But and that impact, didn't we? And I just couldn't see him scoring at all. It was like 0 minutes, and I was thinking, oh, here we go. We haven't scored a second, but I was just thinking, I just can't. And then they pop up. I couldn't. We were at the other end, weren't we, Claire? And I saw replay on the replays, and it looked like didn't go far enough. But I mean, as you say, there's probably may have been a shout there for a free kick move. Actually, it was like the ball was punched out, and then they got the cross in, and I think we just lost, and they scored from it. And that second goal, I still can't work out what's going on. It looks like a little bit of indecision, and might be Kobe Rowe, I think, but yeah, happens certainly in the. But yeah, there was
absolutely
loads of good football played, and just ruin those chances.
Well, we're still better off than we were last season. We did the same thing last season, almost exactly the same. As I pointed out to a Doncaster fan who was getting a bit excited about it, it's like, okay, well, we give these charity points away to big teams at the start of the season. It didn't do Oldham too good last year, so I wouldn't celebrate too much.
I read that tweet, and that did make me chuckle.
Just give them a little bit of something to think about.
It's just like, I don't think I did anything personally for you to say thank you to me for. I was like, oh, saucer of milk for Mike.
Yeah, I forget everyone sees these things. But yeah, I mean, so someone else was saying about the late goals, and obviously everyone talks about the late goals. And I'm like, I remember last season Matt was saying it evens itself out, and I started keeping a little bit of a tally. And I was like, it is even. It's evened itself out. So today, because I couldn't get to the ladies' game, I had a bit of extra time on my hand. And I've gone through every match since Matt took over. Yes, I have a spreadsheet. There is colours. Colour-coded and all sorts. But, so, unbelievably, we have turned a loss into a win. So I've done it the last 10 minutes as late goals is what I've decided. We turned a loss into a win twice, and we've turned a win into a loss twice. We've turned a draw into a win 10 times, and a win into a draw 10 times, and a loss to a draw 3 times, and a draw to a loss 3 times.
Wow.
Overall, the exact thing is, it's added up to 0 points over the whole 4 years. 3 seasons and this season so far, which I was very surprised about. But that's the last 10 minutes. Unfortunately, it didn't work in my favour when I did it for 90 plus minutes. It is a very different story when it gets to 90 plus minutes, and I don't really want to talk about that because it's about minus 3 points per season is what it is, which again isn't that much, but it's not as nice a story as I wanted it to prove. But last 10 minutes, I couldn't believe it was that even over the whole 4 years. But
those stats out, Mike. To be honest, that was very impressive. But it was. I guess the part of that is that we remember it more, probably, isn't it? With the losses more.
This is what I think it was. Jason was basically saying is, it's fine when it's like at Stevenage when we nick a point, but it's not so fine in these games. Like, you can't have the two. You can't only count the ones that we win and say the other ones are awful. You have to look at both sides. And yes, it's much more even than I expected it to be. I'll be brutally honest. But still, it hurts nonetheless. We could have been looking at 4 points nearer the top of the table. I know it's only 2 games, and I know it doesn't make any difference, but it just gives that little bit of a boost going into these games.
I think the optimism is still there. 2 games in. I don't know about you, Paul, but I definitely chuckled yesterday when the chorus of Sutton's going up with a tenner in the bank started. I was like, "Wow, this is optimism." this thing. We're not even 180 minutes in yet, and this is where we think we're going. Okay, cool. David told me to calm down and that it's an away game favourite, but I was like, it's a bit early.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good one. I like that. It's one of the better ones, to be fair. It's not about Bromley.
This is true.
Definitely, I do like
But
reminding big teams that they're in the same league with Sutton. They're always a favourite as well.
they are.
I don't mind saying same league. I wouldn't mind saying same league, but we need to make a decision. Are we happy that we're in the Football League? Yes, we are. In which case, we need to stop telling them that they're in a shit league, because we're quite happy to be in this league. So it's a bit of a...
But I think their point is they shouldn't be in this league with us. To quote Harry McCurdy, the likes of Sutton. With the likes of Sutton. Well, I hope you enjoy your red
smart,
card.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed your red card, you brat. Anyway, talking of looking into the future, and did you see the seamless link there?
Beautiful.
We are going to be talking about our second ever League Cup match. And we are going to be joined to talk about that with Liam from the NK1 podcast. And I'm glad he wrote it down because I did nearly forget it. Hello, Liam. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you guys?
Very well, thank you. We were saying just before you joined us that we were all a bit miserable because of our last-minute loss. And I'd looked up your results and went, oh, well, he'll be just as happy as us then with two 1-0 win defeats in the opening two games. How's the season been so far?
Yeah, it could have been better. I think the first game season at Cambridge was very difficult to watch. I personally watched it from a hotel room in Budapest as opposed to at the stadium. So paying for the privilege to watch that for 2 hours isn't exactly the best experience in the world. But yeah, yesterday wasn't too bad. Against Sheffield Wednesday, I thought we played okay. Definitely should have more from the game than we did. I think Wednesday weren't. It's early in the season, it's hard to tell what teams are like, but Wednesday weren't too special, and we kind of gave them the 3 points, in my opinion. But yeah, it's promising signs overall when you can see the team coming together. So, this cup game for us could be quite a nice timing in terms of, seeing some other players on the pitch and hopefully scoring some goals, potentially.
You can have like one or two as long as we get one more for you. We're fine. But just give us a little. I should have done this first, Scott. I'm very disorganised. Just a little shout out. What's your podcast? Is it weekly? Do you do like me? Just keep churning it out and hope one of them's good.
Yeah, weekly. Sometimes we have special episodes with like some of the first team manager or sort of players potentially. But yeah, it's bog standard week for us is a weekly episode where we review. So, for example, next week will be obviously this game and the Wednesday game, and we get opposition fans on to look ahead to the future games coming up. Excellent.
And last season you finished third, did you?
Yes, yeah. It was a very good season. I think a lot of people have asked us, if we said we were going to finish third at the end of the season and almost get to Wembley, for example, I think we snap your arm off. Because I think a lot of expectation was to get top 6 potentially. Even the most optimistic person was top 6, and yeah, to pretty much almost get to the championship is fantastic. And it's a shame it didn't happen. I think we were masters of our own downfall in some senses. I think there's a lot of games towards the end of last season in which we didn't perform. Oxford being one, of course, Wickham in the first leg being one of the playoffs. So yeah, the squad's job this season is to, they're their own squad at the end of the day, so they're not going to reflect on the past and reflect on what's done previously. But you'd like to think that with the recruitment team, with the coach team we have in place, that we can at least challenge for top 6 this season and hopefully do some more than that.
Excellent. And did you two guys know who the teams in 1 and 2 were? Claire, Paul? It was Wigan and Rotherham. We didn't lose to either of them, so we're feeling good right now.
Yeah.
Let's do the hat trick. Although we did just lose to Doncaster, who came down the bottom. So,
well, we lost to Doncaster twice. So
did you? There we go. What great company we're in. So this is going to be obviously our first visit or I'm hoping our first visit. One of you, please nod. Thank you.
I'm going
to your stadium. So, what can we expect from the stadium, and where most importantly, where should we be going to drink before the game?
I wouldn't say there's a grand amount of places to drink, to be honest. That's one of the main issues. Without going into too much politics regarding it, always been a few off the field issues with supporters in the club this weekend. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to focus on the football, but overall the stadium is fantastic. Facility is fantastic. They've been showcased brilliantly throughout the Women's Euros this summer. Congrats to Lionesses once again for doing what they did. And this showcases what the stadium can be when it is to its full extent, and what we're seeing it be when it's the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and Man United have come to town when they played us. It's a modern stadium, of course. It's a bowl structured stadium, so even for us guys, I think getting atmosphere in there consistently is quite hard, especially with the fan base that we do have in terms of the numbers. Obviously, it's much larger compared to maybe a League Two team, but for example, a team playing on Saturday, Sheffield Wednesday, they're selling that out regularly every week. So it's an interesting league to be a part of. But no, I mean, the fact that we've got that facilities, and it's credit to Pete Winkelman and the rest of the team that were there when they built that stadium. It'd just be nice if they could put some efforts into actually generating a fan base there. And we do our bit as much as we can, but we can only do so much being either a podcast or a fans association or a sports association, in which the club can really generate their own advertising and their own sort of facilities in a town that's on our city now. Sorry, that's 300,000 people big.
Absolutely. You swerved that question about the beers very quickly. Very good.
I mean, as I would say, that's what I would encourage people to do when they come to Sutton. Come to our ground.
Yeah, I've been to your ground quite a few times, and obviously been into the bar outside the ground, and really quite enjoyed it. To be fair, it's a shame that Milton Keynes doesn't really have that for away fans. It's a shame. I think the one that was quite a popular one did shut down during the summer. So I think, especially for a midweek game, you're better off just coming to the ground. We've got some new Heineken taps and things like that. So it is something. It's not amazing, but I think that's something that, again, the club and maybe the MK1 estate as a whole needs to work on moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, as you say, it's a midweek game. It's not. Like, we went to Wigan and absolutely drank the place dry. So who should we be looking out for? Who should we be watching out for? Don't worry, Matt does his own scouting. You're not going to give anything away here. So who's going to get us to go, ooh, we don't like him?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's Liam Manning's comments. He's the coach of MK Dons, by the way, if you didn't know. He mentioned how he wants to play a strong team, but there will be changes. A fairly standard response from any manager, really. He's looking to go into a cup game. So I'm expecting some of the younger Irish lads to potentially get a start. Dara Burns being one, coming in from St Patrick's in Ireland this summer. Paid a fairly substantial fee for a League One club to pay for a player from Ireland to come in. We've seen fairly limited action of him so far in the league. We saw more of him in pre-season, which looked really electric and on the wing. So I think Dara will play in the right wing for us in a 4-2-3-1 system. A really pacey player, one with a left foot from what we've seen so far. So yeah, it'd be good to see him a bit more. I think in the 10 also we might see Dawson Devoy play. A lot of buzz about Dawson Devoy. I think if anyone's watched his highlights, again, another player, a young player from Ireland, this time Bohemians. He's really, really tricky player who loves a long shot and very young also, but I think 20 now. So he's a player who this game kind of suits, I think, in the cup against all due respect to League Two team. He can come in and potentially get some minutes and finally see Sadio and Kane can get his feet on the grass. Other than that, I think it'll be fairly first team centric. So I think the back four will mostly stay the same. So the partnership of Warren O'Hora and Jack Tucker as the two centre backs has been pretty prominent so far. I think Tucker especially bounced back quite nicely against Wednesday in the weekend. So I think him and Warren O'Hora should have a solid foundation. But yeah, overall it's a strong squad that we've got despite some injuries that we do have. So yeah, I'm expecting a fairly strong team to hopefully bounce back from the past two league games.
Okay, so what would your prediction be beforehand?
Oof. What, in terms of a squad or a score?
It's a score. Result, even
score.
if you just want to do a result.
I mean, I'm expecting Sutton to get fairly strong. Obviously, as you mentioned, your success in the competition last year was pretty damn good, to be honest.
Not this
so I'm
one.
sure.
No,
Yeah,
that was a different one. We
Oh,
went
of
out to
course,
Cardiff.
yeah, the
We went out to
Pavilion,
Cardiff in the first round.
Yeah, of course. You know what? There's so many
In
competitions.
fairness,
You kind of forget what you play at these days. But yeah, of course, you are right. Sorry, but even so, your success in the competition last year was really good. So you want to hope to carry that on to this season. But no, I'll be silly. I'll be stupid if I wasn't a Dons fan and picked not to win here. Despite us not scoring a goal, we did look pretty threatening against Wednesday. We probably should have scored, really, if not won the game. So I will go 2-1 MK Dons.
2-1 MK Dons. Go on, Claire, what were you going to say?
disgrace ourselves against Cardiff last year. So I am trips because it was just amazing. But I'm going to go the other way. It will stay like 1-1 for ages, and I think we'll nick it to a 2-1 minutes because it's about time that we did that in Added, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being optimistic, you told me I was sponsored.
No, I like it.
Sponsored by Prozac. And Paul, Paul, what do you think?
It's bouncing back, and is there extra time? I don't know, but I can see us win, and getting the season off.
Okay. Well, I have said that we're going to meet Reading in a later round, and it will go to penalties against Reading with our ex-goalkeeper in goal. So I'm afraid I have to say we're going to win. It's very specific, very niche prediction, but yeah, I think we'll give it a go. What? I want to face Dino
against him. No.
Yes. But thank you very much, Liam. Give us another little shout out for your podcast again. It's the MK1 podcast, and it's available on why?
Yes, MK1 podcast. Anything Milton Keynes Dons, we are pretty much the guys to go to. So yeah, any podcasting platform you listen to, or Spotify, Apple, we're on there. So yeah, check us out.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Take care. Guys, just as I remembered, as I went through with Liam players to watch, I realised that we didn't do the Player of the Day nominations for Saturday. So give us a couple of players of the day.
Do I have to?
Yes. Otherwise, I end up picking them. Say again?
Donny for his goal.
Yeah.
Because that's, a low-hanging piece of fruit, isn't it? And I don't know. I'm going to hand over to Paul while I think of my second one.
Go on, Paul. Who do you reckon?
Someone in the midfield. I'll give it to Josh. No, give him a put him in the frame.
Excellent. I want one more from you as well, though. So I've got Josh. I've got Donny. I want two more, one each.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to chuck one in because everyone was moaning when Omar went off. So they were saying if Omar had stayed on, everything is going to happen. So I'll put Omar on because he's actually really easy. He's an easy one to put in here because he does every week is the same.
Yeah.
So I thought Rob was pretty good yesterday.
Oh, you both spoke. Say again.
Sorry.
Just one of you say.
I said Rob. I think Paul said Kobe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy to go. Kobe's good.
Kobe. Okay, excellent. I will remember this week to put that out. Just a couple of other bits. Just been told the ladies team won today 3-2 against Wickham, and it was a good game. We played really well. I didn't get to see it because it was actually miles. Well, it's not that far away, but it's a pain to get to if you don't drive. So I didn't go. And also, I'm sure it will be retweeted quite a lot between now and next week. But I've written it down on my planner. precisely 3 times to mention Sarah's bake sale. So she's doing a bake sale in Age of Dementia next week, and it's on Saturday, and it's at 2 o'clock. I'll put the link in the description. You will know Sarah as either Sarah, Sutton Sal, or Amber Salamander. I'm sure it's not for tax purposes. I'm sure it's just different names for different things. But yeah, if you're able to support, there's an online Just Giving page, or there is actual physical pop down, grab a cake, and make a donation. So yeah, I'll put the link in, and as I say, it'll be retweeted a couple of times between now and next Saturday, Sunday even. Not Saturday, Sunday. So, any last words or thoughts of sending us all off happy? I've just mentioned cake, so everyone's got to be pretty happy at this moment in time. But anything else we can send the people at home happy with?
The weather forecast looks great for this coming week. So, before the bake sale, get yourself down to the fan zone at 12 o'clock. Have a few friends before the game. There we go. That's happy.
And I'm not saying this because I had a promo pint, but honestly, that Signal beer, if anyone's not had it yet, it is really nice.
New furniture in the fan zone that was delivered last week, so it will be an addition to what. Come check it out.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Paul, what do you want to send everyone home positive for?
You've got me buzzing already. Cake, bleak ice beer at the ground. What more could you want?
Yay! And on the weather, I did get one person, Wing Commander, when I said, come on, is it that bad? Let's find something positive. He said, it didn't rain on us like it did at Forest Green last time. So, yay!
That's true.
So there we go. Thank you very, very, very much. I will obviously have you on again at any point of the season. And Paul, I didn't mention the fact that you answered the email in record time. I just let that slide. It was literally, I think I hadn't finished typing it, and he was replying saying, "Yes, I'll do the Doncaster one." So you got away with that.
Jolly decent.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for listening, and take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.